You see, the most powerful people are in politics, and I got a ticket to United Kingdom. When I came here, it was a huge cultural shock to me.
About leadership in today's world, what concerns you most about the leaders today in the world globally?
I take pride in defending my motherland, India.
And sir, what matters more, money or legacy?
In 20 years, my turnover touched 200 million.
So, sir, do you believe more business leaders should step into public service like you?
When you can't even ride a bicycle and you want to drive a fighter plane.
With a journey spanning entrepreneurship, philanthropy, and public service, Lord Rami Ranger of Mayfair has become a respected voice in British society. Founder of a successful international business and a champion of community relations, he now brings his experience and vision to the House of Lords, continuing his commitment to leadership, inclusion, and national progress.
What does it take to go from survival to building a global empire and then stepping into one of the most powerful institutions into the world? Today, I'm speaking to a man who has lived all three. Today's conversation is with Sir Lord Rami Ranger, who is the member of the House of Lords in the United Kingdom and is also the founder of global business group SunMark Limited and a self made entrepreneur whose journey began with adversity and rose into international success. From building a multi million pound business empire to representing voices in the House of Lords, his journey reflects resilience, discipline, and vision at the highest level. Sir Lord Ranger, it is an honor to be in conversation with you.
Thank you very much, Udayveer. You are very kind and very generous in your introduction.
So you've lived a life where business, leadership, and public service intersect. I want to start from the very beginning. So let me start with this saying that when you look back, was your journey driven more by ambition or by survival?
It was both. It was both. First thing first, you have to survive to realize your ambition. So first you have to secure yourself, you have to find a livelihood, and then you have to think of what else can you do with your life. And luckily I had come from India, very ancient civilization with lots of old values, and with the value system one becomes successful if they have good values. And luckily the old Sanatani values are very good, and where they teach us to work hard and show empathy for others and commitment, always be family honor and respect for your elders, and all those good qualities which we inherited from India were very useful in the United Kingdom.
So, sir, you started with very little and built something global. So, what were the hardest early realities you had to face?
Well, very frankly, when I came to this country in 1971 May, I had a different ideas of United Kingdom. That money grows on trees, the roads are paved with gold. Once I enter United Kingdom, my trouble will be over. I'll be enjoying a very luxurious life, which I saw on television. How people were living in beautiful houses and speaking nice English, nice cars and everything. But when I came here, because my brother told me not to come, I was quite comfortable in Chandigarh. My mother was a teacher, brother was in the army. I was relatively comfortable. So my brother warned me not to come, but I said, "You are jealous. You don't want me to have a good time." And he said, "Look, I don't stop you. If you want to come, come." So I sold my motorbike and I got a ticket to United Kingdom. When I came here, it was a huge cultural shock to me. Okay, what I had imagined in India was totally the opposite. And what my brother told me is a very hard life and this, that, the other thing. And it was actually, he was telling us the truth. Because in those days we were just newly arrived, we were struggling community, we were just trying to buy properties or house or whatever. But anyway, so I said, okay, I made a mistake. It's better not to regret. Let's make a U-turn. So I said, before I go back, I've sold my motorbike, I sold my radios and this and that bits and pieces. Let me now make some money to go back. So wherever I went, they wanted experience, and my English was not that clever as well, because we had to think in Hindustani and then speak, and the accent and all those things, expression, they were all wrong. But the first job I got was a car cleaner. That was the only job available, so I was car cleaner. I worked hard, and I started making a few bob and few pound. And then one day I was coming home, and there was a notice on a fast food company, Kentucky Fried Chicken, cook required, no experience needed. So I walked in. I said, "Look, I'm looking for a job." So I got a job as a cook in KFC for 35p an hour. But I worked very hard, and I gave them a very positive attitude. Whatever they said, yes, sir. They had no idea that my hidden agenda was to make money and go back. So there was no need for me to give them any lip service. So they liked my attitude. That this guy, if there's a trouble in any other shop, he doesn't say no, he goes there. So they saw me that I was also educated, and I could work on the till, I could speak to customer. So they gave me a job promoted me to assistant manager. Again, I did a good job, because with right values. Then I was given a shop, a manager of a shop in a very difficult area, Brixton, where there's a lot of violence and crime and all that. So I managed that shop and turned that into number one shop in the company. And I was so respected that they gave me a promotion as a district manager. So I was become in charge of 10 store. So I was expert in KFC. So there I worked for 6-7 years, and then company started selling their shop to individual franchisees. So I was made redundant. Then I worked for McCain. Then from McCain I worked for Curry's Electrical Wholesale. Sorry, that's where I saw people from Africa were coming and buying electrical goods, microwave, TVs, videos, camcorders, to send them unaccompanied back home to Africa. So I saw that's an easy job. That's a service industry. You don't need any capital. You don't need any machinery or plant or anything. So I started this job with a 40-pound typewriter in a shed. And from there, my job was to go to electrical wholesaler. Luckily, they were in two big roads, Edgware Road and Tottenham Court Road. That's all wholesaler were there. So I introduced myself that I can ship your goods much cheaper, much reliable. And so I took extra effort in making sure that the cargo was properly packed, sealed, and it was delivered on the other side without any damage or pilferage. So my reputation grew, and I grew and grew and grew, and I became very successful freight forwarders. I was moving people's houses, and because people trust you because they have their personal belonging, they're priceless. So I took that care, and then from one thing led to another, and people were buying food stuff from United Kingdom for the supermarket in Africa. So my job was to collect from various places, consolidate into container, and ship them. Some customer feeling difficulty sourcing products, so I said if I help them, I help myself. So I started sourcing product for them, and unwittingly I removed 5, 6, 7 profit center. You make profit while buying, because now they were getting product much cheaper. There were no delivery charge, there was no commission. I was only interested in making freight, and I had a queue of people trying to do business with me. God wants to reward me, so he did. And from one thing led to another, so I was sourcing British supermarket product, branded product, very expensive, to shipping them to elite of those countries. Then it dawned on me, from a supermarket, they have their private label, and I said if there's a market for Mercedes, there's also a market for Toyota. Not everybody can afford a Chanel bag, but they still need a good bag. Then I went back to same companies who manufacture their top correct brand. I said, will you you make it for supermarket, will you make it for me? They said you have to pay up front, you have to pay for packaging. So I got exactly the same product, 30 to 40% cheaper. There were no advertising, no marketing, no sales, no distribution. So I was able to sell those products cheaper, 30% cheaper, without compromising taste and quality, which people have come to use. And when then, what the next story is, in 20 years, my turnover touched 200 million. And I won 5 Queen's Awards for growing 30% year on year. Even the Prime Minister came to give me the 5th Queen's Award. So this is the story of a person who lost his father before his birth, because my father was a gate partition of India. He was killed while he was trying to save some students who were taken out of peaceful procession. Then my mother, she could not give us, she worked as a teacher, she could not give us financial support, but she instilled the right values. Her always word was, son, you make money for respect. If you have no respect, money has no value. So in order to do what she told us, to earn respect, I ended up getting honor from Queen on record 8 occasions, 6 times for business, twice for community service. And then I worked with the Conservative Party because the Indian people were not publicly or politically spirited. And we were kicked out of Uganda, and then I said, look, we will be kicked out of here because we are not in public life or political. So I went on 25 years knocking on people's doors that you are no longer immigrants, you're not going back, your children are born here, your grandchildren, why don't you take decision making part in the decision making process? Otherwise somebody else will make decision for you. And slowly, penny dropped. We ended up having our own Prime Minister of Indian origin. So that just shows, as somebody said, the longest journey begins with the first single step. Once you take your first step, the rest becomes history. So I was very lucky I had the right attitude, that I was adaptable, and I never said no to anything without trying.
So that's a remarkable journey, sir. People will love to hear from you throughout this entire conversation. So
Limited and Sierra Land Forwarding Limited, 2 of Britain's fastest growing companies. His company sustained thousands of British jobs with their export activities to 130 countries.
Consistently throughout these years.
Very simple. My motto was, I only succeed when my customers succeed. If they ever lost any money, I will make their losses good. Money I could always earn back. If I lost a customer, I will damage my reputation and I will lose the customer also. So the focus was customer success, because if they're competing in the same market. If they don't succeed, they won't come back, and I will not have the business. So very carefully, and then when people came, I tried to explain to them how to market product, how to get customers. So it was using their business as my own business.
So basically, customer satisfaction was the prime.
Very important.
Okay, and sir, when building a business from scratch, what would you say to a younger mind? What matters more? Is it vision? Is it discipline? Or is it risk taking?
First of all, experience is very important. You have to have some experience working for other people. You can't just start business immediately. First, you have to try your mettle, try your ability working with somebody. There's a proverb, if you are not successful working for somebody, you're never going to be successful working for yourself, because working for yourself, you have to do everything. But when you're working for other people, you get the full company infrastructure to support you. So first you shine working for them, and when you work for them, you don't think you're working for them, you think that you're working to test your own ability and your vision. So I was very successful, as I told you, with Kentucky Fried Chicken, with curries and all that. So I knew that I have learned some basics of customer relationship and business and everything. So that's number one, you have to have experience. Number two, if you have an experience, then you have to start growing from the small base. You can't just open up big companies, because you have to grow organically, slowly, and never borrow money to grow, because you grow from your profit. and you know when you're working for company, you have employees. You have to protect their jobs as well. You can't make any mistake. And then, as I said, you have to make sure that the customer has a choice. You have to give them something more than the other guy. You know, you have to give extra service, extra understanding, and all these things.
That's great. So, sir, in your experience, is failure necessary for success, or can it be avoided with the right mindset?
You see, failure is not the ultimate. It's not the end of your career. You know, we do make mistake, we do learn. But if you do not make big mistake where you can really you lost everything, but there are people who have come back. Yes, because it makes you even more experienced. So you know, so in life, uh, failure is a part of success. Is the opposite of success. So if you make a mistake and you learn from those mistakes and you become more smarter and more experienced, that is you use that failure to your advantage.
Okay, so it is a lot of learning journey for me as well as a young entrepreneur. So, sir, moving on to the political part of things. So, you're not a traditional politician, and what I want to mean to ask is that what did it mean for you to transition from being a business owner into the House of Lords?
You see, the most powerful people are in politics because politicians have the power, and when you are in politics, you meet all these successful, you know, strong people with a lot of experience and knowledge. So, as they say, you're judged by the company you keep. So, by going into parliament, I'm able to contribute a great deal more than being outside the parliament because you know people take notice of you that you're a member of the parliament and you got some knowledge about the way the system works. And also, I can help a lot of people, you know, guide them if they want to make a career in politics. I always willing to help them.
So, sir, how different is decision making in business compared to the decision making in the governance?
Is a totally different. In business, you are master of your own destiny. You can make your own decision. But in public life, you have to be very conscious, very careful. What you say, what you do, does not come back to haunt you. You know, because you are accountable to public, accountable to authority also. But in your company, you make mistake. You know, nobody there to answer, question you. So therefore, in public life, we have to be very, very careful because there are code of conduct, code standards are there in public life. So you just can't make any statement or any decision which is not correct.
So, sir, what responsibility do you feel, or basically, what responsibility you feel when you speak or contribute in the House of Lords as the member of the House of Lords?
Well, first of all, you know, for example, I take pride in defending my motherland, India. If somebody comes up with some stupid narrative that there are human right violations in Kashmir, you know, the minorities are not being treated equally. So I will stand up and correct them that Indian Constitution accord equality to all, including women. You know, not many countries give equality to women, as you can see. In India, equality is enshrined. In India, diversity is accepted, respected, and protected through law. There are laws against this. So I put them correct that you have every facility, even in England, but you cannot use religion to devalue your fellow citizen. You know, some people want to do in Kashmir. Now it's quite a in the beginning there were a lot of people, you know, make Kashmir a religious state, and like they did Pakistan. So using religion is the lowest of the low. You want to use merit, rise above the rest on your merit on you know on qualification, but not just use religion that you are a doctor and because you're not of one particular religion you're second class. And when you hold any section of your community back, you in fact hold your country back.
That's right. That's so true. So, sir, do you believe more business leaders should step into public service like you?
It is very good because you have experience of business. I speak on the bills which affect business. So if you know as a businessman what are the problem businessmen people face, you are able to articulate those in parliament, and you could shape the law if there are laws that are not business friendly.
Okay, and sir, I'll just, as you've been a leader for so many years running a global enterprise, I just put some questions related to leadership, considering your experience and knowledge over the years. So, I'd just like to ask that what does leadership mean to you today after experiencing both business and governance now over the years?
A leader will produce more leaders. A leader will show a lot of qualities where he will develop the staff to realize their potential. He doesn't keep them down, because if you keep good people down, you keep yourself or your business down. He will develop, he will make them understand. He doesn't expect his staff to be like a typewriter or yes people, yes men.
Mm-hmm.
Yes men will only say yes men. They will not bring anything on to the table. So therefore, a true leader will create more leaders, and he will get the best out of men and material at his disposal, her disposal.
So, sir, according to you, what do you think is the most about leadership in today's world? What concerns you most about the leaders today in the world, globally?
Well, you see, there are many leaders, but will they shine? That is the question. Leaders are leader. Some leaders are like Margaret Thatcher. We remember her. Some leaders are like another prime minister nobody remembers. So we have Guru Gobind Singh. Everybody bow down to him, Sikhs or Hindus or whatever. Even the government of India celebrate their lives and teaching on a national, international. They are leaders because they sacrifice, they lead from the front, they set example for other people to follow. So therefore, leadership qualities are there that you will not do something. You will not ask anybody to do something which you cannot do yourself, and you will have to lead them from the front by setting example and treating everybody as a human being and making sure that they realize their potential.
So, sir, considering that you're also from an Indian background and me myself as well, I'll just put some questions regarding the Indian side of things, its global position, and the future of India. So, you have strong roots connected to India, and I'd just like to ask that how do you view India's rise on the global stage as of today?
Well, I'm not surprised because India was at the top at one time. Indian civilization was very advanced. 26% of trade was just with India or the rest of the world, but India was ahead in astronomy, architects. You just have to see 2,000-year-old Hindu temple.
Mm-hmm.
Mind boggle, how did they do it? Medicine, mathematics, plastic surgery, you name it, they were ahead of everything. But they were not united.
Mm-hmm.
They were all small, small princely states fighting with each other, and that's how the foreigners came. They saw them scattered, not very strong, so one by one they captured them. But today India is united. It is the number fourth economy, number third defense force in the world, and also the economy is growing 8 to 9% per annum. And because of Sanatani civilization of the value system, you can see every blue chip company is run by Indian because that's the value system they inherited. We are not taught to hate anybody. We are not taught to convert anybody. We respect every faith. We respect religion. Every religion we respect. That's why you got all the religion in India, all the culture in India living side by side for centuries. And we also respect women because women empowerment is prerequisite for a civil and progressive society. As you know, I'm a single parent child who never saw father, but my mother brought up 8 of us and became the proudest Indian mother because 5 of her sons joined the Indian Army as commissioned officer. So therefore, the value of a woman cannot be devalued because women are the architect of next generation. What they do not experience themselves, that they cannot part into their children. So therefore, you just have to just imagine if a father dies prematurely, like my father did,
Mm-hmm.
he will leave behind a woman unable to deal with this uncaring world, and the mother unable to look after his children, and they will become liability, and they will not realize their real potential in life. So therefore, women empowerment is not a choice; it is a necessity.
All right. So, sir, what strengths do you believe India has that the world is only now beginning to recognize in like past few years under the able leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi?
First of all, Prime Minister Modi has brought discipline into the Indian country,
So
because
true.
we had too much freedom before. Now there is a discipline. He is not he's not looking after women. And he also united India for the first time by removing 370 article, where Kashmir was enjoying special rights, privileges than the rest of India. So that is gone. So India is now one, united, and the development of Kashmir, you can see how fast this is happening. That's number one. Then he's also made sure that triple talaq for women
Hmm.
is outlawed, because that is a affront to women, that you can just divorce them by saying three words, triple talaq, talaq, talaq. So Prime Minister Modi has done that. He's also looked after minority like Sikhs. He's recognized the sacrifice of Sahibjadas.
Hmm.
He has also celebrated the teaching alive of gurus, who were actually universal guru, not gurus of Sikhs, because Guru Tegh Bahadur did not die for Sikhs, he died for the humanity. Yes,
That's
Guru
why he's called Hind the Chadar.
Hind ki Chadar. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji established Brother of Khalsa, not for Sikhs, only for to protect religious freedom in India. So therefore, because they were really heroes, and the government is celebrating them, even though Indian government is a secular democratic, they're not supposed to promote any religion, but only for Sikh religion. Kartarpur corridor, rope bridge for Hemkund Sahib, celebrating Guru Tegh Bahadur's martyrdom day from Red Fort. All these things make people very happy.
So, sir, carrying your established legacy as a business owner over the years, I'd like you to give some advice to young Indian entrepreneurs who want to build globally.
Very, very simple. As I said, first you have to have experience. It's no good having lofty ambition when you can't even ride a bicycle, and you want to drive a fighter plane. So you have to have that basic skill, knowledge, experience, working with other people. Then you have to have certain qualities, and the qualities, I can tell you, you have to have a self-respect, that you do not do anything where you could be insulted, because you come on time, you go to work, and you do your work very diligently. You don't let your boss down. You dress properly. You also show commitment to your work. It's no good how clever you are if you're not committed to your cause. It's a total waste of time. You have to have ethic. You have to have ethical business. You cannot cheat your customer and build a world-class company. You have to make sure that you pay your suppliers on time. You look after your staff, because staff is the most important ingredients of your company. They are the investor. You have to have vision, where you want to take your company and how you want to take it there, what you need to do. You may have to exhibit your product and services in global exhibition, telling people what you have, what product, what services you have, what benefit you can bring to the table. And finally, you have to have empathy for others, empathy for your staff. You have to treat them like your own family. Empathy for your supplier, you have to pay them on time. Empathy for your customer, that they don't suffer because of your selfish attitude. So empathy, appreciating other people's position, will make you. So five qualities are very essential.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We'll just do a quick rapid fire and then we'll conclude the video podcast. So, sir, top three qualities of a successful entrepreneur according to you.
I've already repeated them, but I can say that he's a leader. He leads from the front, and he sets his example, and he creates more leader. And the third thing is that he will lead from the front. He'll set example. And the third one is that he does not take undue risk with the business or the livelihood of his staff.
And what is the biggest mistake young entrepreneurs make, as per you?
Well, the biggest mistake they make is they want to grow very fast, and it's not good to grow fast. For example, the nature gives us every year we grow little, and suddenly if a child of 10 years becomes 20 years, he will not know what to do. So similarly, business must grow organically, and you have to, just as the business is strengthening, you grow accordingly. You don't want to borrow money and spend money and advertising, marketing, just to create artificial boom, but then it settles down. So business must grow itself.
Okay, so sir, one word that defines success according to you?
Well, nothing succeeds like success. People who are successful, they've done something right. So there's always, you have to make sure that whatever you do, we all have a sight, but very few people have vision. So therefore, it's also important you can see, but you have to visualize the consequences of your action and your deeds.
Okay, and sir, what matters more, money or legacy?
Look, money is very important, but money is not the ultimate. Money is not the end of life, but your legacy will remain long after you have gone from this world. As I said, Guru Gobind Singh Ji or Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, they have money who nobody will remember, but they will remember what you did for other people, how you enrich the world in which you were given opportunity.
Okay, so sir, Lord Ranger, your journey is not just about success. It is about resilience, responsibility, and building something that goes beyond self. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth II, by the grace of God of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and of our other realms and territories, Queen, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith, to all lords spiritual and temporal, and all other our subjects whatsoever to whom these presents shall come, greeting. Know ye that we, of our especial grace, certain knowledge, and mere motion, in pursuance of the Life Peerages Act 1958, and of all other powers in that behalf us enabling, do by these presents advance, create, and prefer our trusty and well-beloved Raminder Singh Ranger, Commander of our most excellent Order of the British Empire, to the state, degree, style, dignity, title, and honour of Baron Ranger of Mayfair in our city of Westminster. And for us, our heirs and successors, do appoint, give, and grant unto him the said name, state, degree, style, dignity, title, and honour of Baron Ranger, to have and to hold unto him for his life. Willing, and by these presents granting, for us, our heirs and successors, that he may have, hold, and possess a seat, place, and voice in the parliaments and public assemblies and councils of us, our heirs and successors, within our United Kingdom amongst the barons, and also that he may enjoy and use all the rights, privileges, preeminences, immunities, and advantages to the degree of a baron duly and of right belonging, which barons of our United Kingdom have heretofore used and enjoyed, or as they do at present use and enjoy. In witness whereof we have caused these our letters to be made patent. Witness ourself at Westminster in the forenoon of the 11th day of October, in the 68th year of our reign. By warrant under the Queen's sign manual.
I, Raminder, Lord Ranger, do swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, her heirs and her successors, according to the law. So help me God.